Yeah, only for one small minutes. The Tokenomics chart.
Will there be interference?
It shouldn't be if you stay in the center, not in front of the speaker.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
So because in live stream without audio,
Yeah,
of course,
we didn't put the audio to listen everything.
oh yeah, okay. So
Now you have to get the audio. Can you do a test?
Test?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, normal and microphone.
Yeah, can you hear me? It's turned off, I don't.
It's turned off.
Yeah.
Just on the mic. Sorry. Sit. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Enough volume for you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. That's all.
Try one more.
Can you hear me?
Enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough, right? Okay.
That sounds good.
it's perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Okay.
Okay. We need someone to maybe move the slides. Okay. Is there a remote or something?
Yeah. Okay.
Is it on your laptop? I do that?
No, it's connected to that one. Yeah.
Sorry, I had a little incident.
That's okay.
Yeah. This is the link.
They have manual. They don't have.
Okay, so
You need to stay in the. It's the one.
That's a decentralized
real
framework, yes.
Yeah.
Want me to present you guys? Are you going to do it together?
Jason will step in for the technical questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the Q&A.
Yes. Did you want to open up or?
It's just
Okay, I'm going to take the time to talk about a little bit from S21 and myself. I see a lot of faces I've never seen before, so welcome. There's a big team there, that's Bunny, I guess. Welcome. Okay, so my name is Melissa Kurtcan. I'm from Turkey, Istanbul, and I've been organizing crypto and blockchain events with S21 other founders since 1.5 years now. And I'm also a professional in the field, helping companies with their sustainable business model development, and also excited about helping NGOs and green businesses in their tokenization processes. And it's been quite of a journey. Initially, our little group turned into this huge community, so we're super excited about that. And what S21 is basically Satoshi 21 billion. So everybody generally asks that question. And the main thing, actually, we're sponsoring the events to give chance to projects to express themselves and talk about their projects, and with the team members and co-founders, and for us to learn from each other's experiences. And we are generally as rootless in our comments as a true friend could be. So feel free to just throw any questions. Today is particularly exciting for us because so far we've been an expat community, but today we have one fully Indonesian, one half Indonesian project. So that's also our first. So we're gonna start with WeFUND. Austin is going to present. So I'm just going to look at the. So Austin is the Chief Communication Officer at WeFUND and a current investment manager with Silicon Valley Venture Capital Fund. And Jason is one of our first members since about years, an investor and technical advisor at WeFUND and former Silicon Valley software developer. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for joining. It's a big group. But to get started, I'm presenting WeFUND, and it's a community crowdfunding cross-chain incubator. So if we can go to the next slide. What that means is, if you think about Kickstarter or Indiegogo, they're a crowdfunding platform. You have an interesting project, you can put it on there and raise funds from the community. People can put in $5 or $10 or $1,000 if they want. And we are aiming to do that for cryptocurrency projects. So a big burden right now with cryptocurrency projects is that there's so many, but it's very hard to be an early investor, especially if you're someone who's new to crypto and you really want to get your feet wet. To invest in cryptocurrency projects, early ones, you need to be part of certain groups, you need to know the right people, and a lot of them ask for a minimum check size. So we're trying to bridge that gap by bringing on brand new early cryptocurrency blockchain projects onto our platform where the average person can come in and invest $5 if they want, or $100 or even more. And in addition to that, as we scale and we build our resources, we're trying to make this an incubation service as well, meaning if we will first meet with you and we'll try to find gaps in your model and to help you prepare for fundraising, and then we'll work with you along the way so that when you have your initial offering or meet your end goal, we can really help you scale. So we can go to the next slide. So, all right. So our mission is that we want a brand that is community focused, hosts high quality projects, as well as provides a lot of security. So hosting high quality projects, not just anyone has the opportunity to come and propose a project to us, but we really want to host projects that have a strong team, a strong model, and they're actually solving a big problem. And if someone came to us with a project that maybe had a lot of gaps, we really want to work with them so they can get to the standards that our community would approve of and want to have on our platform and have a good chance of success. And this is going to be community driven, so we really want our community and our investors to be a big part of the decision process. So I will show a map later of how it all works, but basically when we have a project come to our platform, we want the community to approve and say, yes, this is a project that we're interested in, this is a project that we agree with, and also the community everyone has the opportunity to invest in these new projects. And then with investor security, which I will elaborate a little bit on later, all of our funds were built on the Terra blockchain, and all of our funds will be managed by Anchor, which is a savings protocol that disperses money through various staking pools. It's very secure, low interest rates, and WeFUND does not touch any money, means it's a lot more transparent, and Anchor brings in a lot of security. So going to the next slide, if you're not familiar, whoops. If you're not familiar, Terra is a stablecoin-based blockchain, and it's actually the second largest in terms of total value locked. So just from, now it has 14, but as of December with 13 protocols, it had about 13 billion in total value locked, and that is just behind Ethereum, and it's above Binance Smart Chain and Avalanche and other notable names such as Solana. And these other ones have a lot of different protocols, and what makes Terra different is that just from a few protocols, it's able to generate so much TVL, which means that they're high quality, and that the community of Terra is actively participating, which is important to us because it aligns with our community values. Next slide. So a bit about the Anchor protocol, as I mentioned before. It's a Terra-based application, and it's just a saving protocol offering low yield deposits, and low stablecoin yield deposits into various staking pools, and you can put your money in and you can withdraw it at any time. And we'll be using this to manage all of the funds that come in through the project. So if you have a project and you're raising $100,000, that will all go into Anchor as your fundraising, and then it will be released via milestones and community approval. Next slide. So a bit how the platform works. Okay. So this is a project evaluation. So someone will come to us and basically, I guess, apply or email us directly. And on our website, you can also fill out a form about your project. We'll do an initial evaluation. We really want to meet the team. We really want to understand what they're trying to accomplish and identify any gaps where we can fill. And this is where the incubation process would start. And then it would go into project improvement and preparation. So we'll fill those gaps and we'll prepare you to get approved by our community and make them excited about the project. And then it would go into the seed phase or private sale. And let's say total you want to raise 500,000. Seed phase would be 100,000, pre-sale 100,000, and then to the initial offering, which would be the final amount. And how that works is the seed phase you would raise 100,000, and you would agree to set milestones for yourself in your project development. If the community agrees of your milestones, then your money will be released through smart contracts, and then you move on to the next fundraising phase, and so on. And the ultimate goal is to deliver a winning project that has ability to scale. And as WeFUND scales, we will use our resources to help incubate projects along this whole pathway. So here's a little bit more of a visual presentation. So a new project comes into the community voting. Yes, no, they like it. If they like it, yes, and all the fundraising will go into the Anchor protocol where it's generating yield benefit, and also it would be a secure and refundable deposit. So if the project fails, that money would go return to the backers with the yield generated in Anchor. If the community approves and the project process keeps moving, then it would go into project delivery, where the project milestone smart contract would release the money, the funds needed so the project can continue and work towards more milestones. And then assuming it has all the investor approval, no, the money would be returned to the backers, and if not, deliver a winning project that the community supports and agrees with. And now if a project were to not meet its milestones, either the project can be rejected, all the funds returned, or we can delay those milestones so they have a little bit more time to meet the milestones that we help set with them. All right, next slide. So here's a snapshot of our tokenomics. At the moment, we are doing a private sale and slash seed, and we're raising $600,000 for 10 million tokens at a token value of 6 cents. And then from there, we'd go into our pre-sale where we're raising another 600,000, and then therefore into the initial offering. Now to break down this graph, 46% is for community and staking rewards. So I'll elaborate on our token in the next slide, but basically what that means is we're actively going to have our token holders actively engaged with us to encourage them to hold on to the token, use it to its full utility, which prevents price volatility and price fluctuations, mass sell-offs. And 32% of our tokens will go into the market through the private sale, pre-sale, and the initial offering. All right, next slide. So here's a snapshot of our token utility. The first one is we're going to have deflationary action. So a lot of the revenue we generate, which would come from people basically paying an ad to have their project prioritized on our platform, as well as a 1% transaction fee. Some of that will go towards buying and burning tokens to maintain its price. And then we're actively thinking of new ways to create staking rewards, which we'll use from our tokenomics that you saw. If you're fundraising with the WeFUND token instead of a Terra stablecoin, then there will be a 0% transaction fee. You can use it. It comes with basically free ad placement if you raise with the WeFUND token, and also the prioritized ad placement. Yeah. All right, next slide. So we do have a vesting period as well for our investors to just prevent price volatility and to encourage staking. So the private investor and pre-sale vesting period, how this works is on the token generation event, 20% of tokens will be released, and then they'll be released daily on a linear schedule for 8 months. Okay, next slide. Okay, and then for the initial offering, it's going to be quite a similar system. 20% of tokens will be released, and then it'll be a daily linear vesting period for 6 months. And then after all vesting has been completed for investors, then the team token vesting period will start, and that will last 12 months. So there's many launch pads in the blockchain now. There's some on Terra, there's some on Avalanche. It's becoming very popular. And we don't necessarily view them as competitors, but I think there's a lot of synergies and everyone is approaching this in a different way. And because there's so many projects coming out to market, it's not going to be a one winner takes all. There's going to be many launch pads and platforms that will have a lot of projects and a community surrounding them. But kind of what separates us a little bit is that we have the yield benefit for backers. So if a project fails, you get your money back plus yield, so you get some additional money. Investor voting power that comes with our big community. As an investor, you get to participate in their milestones. Community voting power, so the initial bringing projects to the platform, the community can decide, yes, this is good, this is bad. Secure and refundable deposits, so security is one of our very important things that we think helps us stand out against other launch pads. The deflationary token value with our buy and burn and creating as much token utility as possible. Money release with milestones and smart contracts. So this provides full transparency, security, and also it's cross-chain. So although we're built on Terra, we can hold projects from any ecosystem, whether it be Solana or Ethereum and many others. And then right now we primarily have blockchain projects on our platform, but as we scale, we want to bring on real world projects as well that will be funded through the blockchain. So as mentioned, we will be generating some profit. How that will be distributed, so for the private sale, 3% of profits will be equally distributed by how much they invested. And then we have anchor investment. This is going to be kind of our treasure chest emergency funds. We do have some advisors that are crypto experts that will also help through the incubation process. And then community investment, this is very generic, but this money will go towards marketing, building our community, and just really expanding our presence overall. Okay. So here are several projects that will be the first projects on WeFUND, which will be up on our website by the end of this month, early February at the latest. But starting out with Mogiverse. What Mogiverse is, this was featured as an up-and-coming project from Terraform Labs. And basically, in their full capacity, it's going to be an NFT collection with full play-to-earn aspects that players can play and earn while exploring the adorable universe of Mogis. So it's a metaverse and it's a NFT collection. So moving on to Dancero, it's a Web3 initiative aiming to drive DeFi and crypto adoption through their dance community in the Latin America region. And it's a convergence of a 4-year-old remote dance academy and community in Colombia and the rapidly growing crypto and NFT DeFi space. Okay, and then moving on to Pandai Crypto. Pandai Crypto is a learn-to-earn platform for the Terra community, actually based here in Indonesia. So as you can imagine, if you really want to learn crypto, it can be hard if you're not a native English speaker. You can't, there's not necessarily going to be many YouTube channels where you can go and learn or articles. But Pandai Crypto is solving that problem for the Indonesia community, specifically for Terra, and they actually almost have nearly 1 million subscribers on YouTube already. And then another one is Pinecone, which aims to mold a fully decentralized community around the principle of collective investing through welcoming experienced investors while simultaneously encouraging and educating crypto newbies. And Mogiverse, Pandai, and Dancero will be on the Terra blockchain, and then Pinecone will be on the Binance Smart Chain. And again, we're quite open to any project from any ecosystem. All right, next slide. So last month, Terra Daily, which is a Twitter account, it's a media outlet for Terra basically, they released a snapshot of the Terra Luna ecosystem, and WeFUND is featured in the DeFi category. All right, next slide. So the next few slides are just snapshots of our landing page and our platform. So as you can see here, we already have the functionality to connect your Terra wallet. Everything will be done through UST and the WeFUND token. And you can also create projects and submit projects to us. Next slide. All right, and here's a sample of you want to create a new project. Here you can do UST or fundraise through WeFUND. Our token has not been generated yet, but that will be happening at the end of Q1 this year. Okay. All right. All right. And this is just a snapshot from if you're an investor and you want to invest in a project, you can select the amount that you want to invest and move forward with the project. All right, next slide. So Andrea and Ika are our two co-founders. They could not be here today. Andrea went to Switzerland as we're trying to incorporate in Switzerland. He's a Swiss national. Switzerland has very friendly crypto regulations. And Ika is in Jakarta trying to find more projects to put on our platform. Basically where this idea started was they're doing a hackathon with Terraform Labs, and that's where the initial idea came from, and that idea was rebranded into WeFUND, and we started this in October. Go ahead. And the other two members are the other two members on the core team. Jason Galvin, who's here, he's our co-CTO, and then myself, I am the CCO. All right. All right, well, thank you for listening, and we have our social media here if you want to participate or follow up with any additional questions. If you have any questions now, the first 5 questions will get 50 WeFUND tokens. Yeah, and we also have some, you see? And we also have some WeFUND gear here if you're interested in some clothing that has the WeFUND brand on it. So, Adrian, I saw you had a question.
It's a real question.
Yeah.
Regardless of the gift.
Yeah.
It's really great. Thank you very much for the presentation. Just want to understand the project funding. If a project is to develop something, whether it's hardware or software, do they receive the funds in advance or in arrears of like developing something, showing that it works, or there's a minimum viable product before getting funds? Like, how do you schedule that?
Do you want to elaborate on that?
So, Adrian, I believe your question relates to how the investors, the backers of these projects, will get rewarded. Is that right? No, it's
how the project receives their money.
Has been approved. Yeah. And so they kick off, the first milestone. Yeah. But they actually need funds to, hire the team, get resources. Do they need to fund themselves first and then get reimbursed by WeFUND, or do they get funding up front to start projects? Okay, so this relates to how the funding happens while the project is already underway. And so what happens is that we have a milestone system to protect the backers, the investors who are placing their funds to support these projects. And the way it works is that the funds are released to the project organizers according to a milestone system. And so the funds are already sent to them, and once they make good on that milestone, then there's another fundraising event or a fund release event. And so the funds are released to the project creators
at each milestone. If something happens during that process and the project is not successful, then as Austin explained, the funds are returned to the backers, the amount of funds that have not been used, including the staking benefits from Anchor protocol.
Okay, cool. So there's no clawback of the funds that have been used. It's just the remaining funds that have not been used can be returned to the investors.
Yes, the remaining funds, the ones that have not been used, get returned to the investor, and maybe we need to make that more clear in the slide. So thank you very much for that observation.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
About tokens, you said you're going to release the tokens related to the project. Do you already have an idea how it's going to be released and when exactly? Through which platform are we going to actually put it to the system?
The WeFUND token.
Yeah, the token itself.
Yeah, the WeFUND token, our token generation event will be at the end of Q1 this year, and everything will be on the, are you asking for about the initial offering? At the moment, we're still exploring various options, whether we want to have an initial coin offering or do something through, or initial wallet offering or something through like a pancake swap or sushi swap, something like that. We're still exploring our options, but we should have that figured out in the next few weeks. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks for the presentation. I like how it protects the investor side, especially compared to launch pads, pool groups, syndicates, and stuff like that. But since money is everywhere at the moment, how do you make sure that the projects don't go the easy route and just, pool groups, raise some money, don't have any milestone, you just get the money, versus like going through your route?
I'm sorry, can you rephrase the question?
Yeah, so currently there's a lot of money in the market, so projects can usually get money quite easily, especially in pool groups. They don't have all these milestones, they don't have all these commitments for the future, they just get all the money in front. And with you, they obviously get a lot of help along the way. That's, I think, one of the USPs, but maybe what are other ways how you make sure that you attract the right projects to come to you?
Right, so initially these first few projects, this has just been primarily, they have come to us primarily just through our networking and we're building our social media following at the time. And I think we get several projects emailed to us every week just through our social media presence and the people that are in our marketing efforts. But initially, because we released our website several weeks ago, we're still expanding that and improving that. We're asking for as much information they have about the project, such as a pitch deck, maybe a white paper, a light paper, and also we want to schedule a meeting with the team so we can really know them, understand their background, understand their experience, intention, and try to grasp what problem is the project solving, and is it scalable? Are there a lot of people competing with them in this space as well? And we're trying to identify, first of all, this isn't just some shit project, and also that it's just a quality team and that our community would really like them, because it's important for us that we are delivering very high quality projects to our community to grow our maintain and grow our community, and also just as a WeFUND brand, people know they can come to our platform and they're going to be looking at high quality projects to start out with, and then they can go in and review the projects, review the material that's available on their own, but they know initially these are all high quality projects with potential. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think my question was, I think you were basically saying that because you will be known as the quality platform to be basically associated with quality projects, that will attract projects to come to you guys.
Right, and projects will come to us because they know that people will want to look at their projects because quality, and also just the incubation services that we will bring along with them as they go through the fundraising process. Yeah. There's a question in the back in the red, or no? Did you have a question?
Yeah, we're going to have any airdrops?
Yes, there are airdrops coming. So 1.5% of our tokenomics is dedicated for airdrops and giveaways. And we haven't put any systems in place that will do our airdrops, but we do have token allocation for that when the time comes. All right. Yeah. That was the first one. So this is the fifth question. After the 5 people, just come to me and we'll talk about the WeFUND tokens that are coming to you for asking the question. So go ahead.
So my question is, so there's obviously others like incubators, like Combinator in California.
Yeah.
Have you offered to like combine teams with them? See if you can use their resources and your technology?
Right, so we have explored several incubation services that we could join to help us scale. Y Combinator we haven't had any interaction with, but we do have a contact at Terraform Labs who we're in the process of communicating with now. There's Plug and Play. They actually have a very brand new incubation service for crypto projects specifically out of their Singapore office, which we have applied to. We haven't heard anything back yet. And then we've talked to 2 VCs now that specialize in blockchain investments, and they are kind of acting not necessarily as an incubation process, but they're willing to provide a lot of resources to help scale. We have had no commitments yet, but those discussions are ongoing.
I was wondering, do you guys have any plans to incorporate NFTs into the project?
Yes, so we haven't set anything official yet, but we are basically working with some of our advisors to, with the staking rewards will come NFTs, which will provide you additional allocation to invest in projects. So, making it available for the whole community, there will be a cap that you can invest in a project. Maybe it'd be $500 or $1,000. That's the maximum. But with staking rewards, you will get an NFT that will result in additional allocation for you, so you can put even more money into the project. Go ahead.
When Binance said.
Say that again.
When Binance said.
When Binance, let's do it.
Unsure yet. Yeah. Go ahead.
What are your plans in terms of code validation, hardening, and securing your own platform? Would you bring in an external third-party validator for the smart contracts and so on?
Yeah, I'll let Jason answer this. He's the technical expert.
So we are raising funds to be able to hire the best auditors for the smart contracts that we have. Right now we have some experts on the team, but as you know, we need as much help as we can get in that area.
All right, any more questions? If not, we do have some free gear here if you're interested. And then the 5 people that asked the first 5 questions, we can meet up maybe after the next project, or if there's a small break, and then we can talk about the tokens. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I hope that you learned a lot. And if you have any more questions, we can always get in contact with our social media or Telegram, or communicate one-on-one through Telegram or my WhatsApp. So thank you very much.